Welcome to. Oh, there we go. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Public Art Review Board of October 16th, 2024. The time is 6:02 p.m. and I invite Jinder to call roll.
All right, Member Kovlasky,
Oh, not present today.
okay. Member Merritt,
Present.
Member Sandoval,
Present.
Chair Schaffler,
Present.
Member Zhao,
Present. I'd like to call the agenda item number 1 to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 17th, 2024. I would like to invite questions and answers from the committee members or staff. Have everybody read the meeting minutes? Okay, great. Can I get a motion and a second to approve the minutes, please? Motion, anyone? I'll motion. Okay, thank you. Member Merrick, the motion to approve. Can I get a second? Great, Member Zhao, thank you. And then all approves or all in favor? Aye. We don't, oh, nope, this is where I get confused with my other report. Sorry, you need to call roll, please. Ginger.
okay, no problem. Member Kovlasky,
Oh,
Oh, absent.
not present today.
absent, okay, sorry. Member Merritt,
Present.
Member Sandoval,
Are we voting aye? Yes or no?
You just, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yes.
sorry.
okay. Chair Schaffler,
Yes.
Member Zhao,
Yes.
okay, thank
Thank you. Well, you actually weren't here.
Just procedurally, like, you
Yeah.
don't have to be present to be able to review the minutes and
Got
so
it.
that you review them and they seem accurate.
Perfect. Okay, at this time, I'd like to open public comment for in-person participants on any matters not listed on the agenda that pertain to the Public Art Review Board. No.
We're all staff.
Okay. Then I close public comment. I'd like to request that staff respond to questions raised during the public comment, but there were none, so that's not important. There are no special presentations tonight. So I'd like to call a agenda item, the 3A, the 2025 Falkirk Art Exhibit Proposal. Do I need to say what the recommended action is? Great.
We can talk about that. We definitely will talk about that at the end because I think we'll want to get, really specific with the actions. It's good to see you all. I'll go ahead and lead in here and do a quick introduction, and then we've got a short presentation to frame this item. This is the bulk of what we'll be talking about tonight. And you may recall last year we had a very similar item on the agenda I think we did in November of 2020. It's exciting for us. We've gone through one full year where we received your proposals last year for exhibit space, and we'll hopefully be able to share a little bit about how things are going, and then we're looking forward to your recommendations. So,
Great.
but I want to introduce Debbie Youngkin and Patty McCauley, who are here. They're going to hopefully be able to chime in a little bit about this. Patty is the coordinator at Falkirk, also oversees our community gardens. And so Patty is the subject matter expert here tonight for all things Falkirk, if there are questions about that. Debbie is the senior supervisor for Falkirk, as well as the chairman of the community center. And I don't know if either of you want to introduce yourselves or anything else that you want to say.
I'm Debbie Youngkin. I've been with the city for 16 years. As Craig mentioned, I do help oversee the Falkirk Cultural Center, Charlotte Community Center, Charlotte Pool, and community gardens. Patty was with us last year as we started this process and came on brand new into the position. So she's been phenomenal at juggling all the artists and trying to figure out Falkirk. And it looks like tonight we have quite a few proposals to share with you again. And I'll let Patty talk to you about the experience with the artists that we brought in this last year and how everything went.
Yeah, so we are actually the group of artists that are on display right now, is actually the first group from the ones that you chose last year. And it's been going great, really, nice group of people to work with. We've had a great response from visitors. So that's wonderful. It's coming to an end next week and I'm lining up, getting everybody ready for the next display, which will start in September. And then we'll have a November, the last one will start. Well, I guess, no, this is the second one now. So this is our September group and then we have our November group starting. So time is going way too fast. I can't believe we're coming up on November already, so. Yeah, so both groups that we've had, the June, the kind of the summer group and this fall group have been really, really awesome. Nice to work with, good people.
And as you remember, a lot of variety within the art that you guys selected, and there's, I believe this last exhibit had quite a few sales.
Yeah.
The artwork, so
Yeah, on the opening night, there was over $3,000 in sales.
Wow.
Opening
That's
It's exciting.
wonderful. And when is it closing? Sorry, just so we all know.
Next week, the 24th, Thursday will be the last.
Okay. Try to get up there. and
yeah, if
see
you
it.
haven't seen it, you should really go see it, because it's just the different artists in each of the rooms are just amazing to see. And it's a lot of different art, so. Love the variety.
Styles, yeah.
And they're open on the weekend?
Right now, in October, we have private rentals on Saturdays, and so we're not open on Saturdays for people to view the exhibits. So this particular group, you need to come during the week.
Okay,
In November, we will have, open Saturdays.
okay.
Jinder, just double checking, can you see the shared screen okay?
Yes.
Great. Some of this might be repeat. I was just gonna, Patty and Debbie, feel free to jump in. I wanted to just have a couple slides to frame the decisions for today, but I think you already shared some of the info that's on here. A little bit of background, Volkert is a really beautiful facility. If you haven't had a chance, or if anyone who watches this video hasn't had a chance to be there, really encourage you to check it out. A lot of history there. It's heritage here in San Rafael. In addition to the art exhibit space, it is an event rental space, like Patty mentioned. It's a very popular space for weddings, celebrations of life, other community events. And then we have the UC cooperative extension that offers the Marine Aftergarder program. We're really appreciative of the way that they take care of the grounds. The dates for this year for the exhibits. So I just mentioned we've got the current exhibit September 13th through 5th, and then November 8th through December 13th, the next exhibit is coming. The last three sets of dates that you see there, those are the exhibitors that this group approved last year through this exact same process. The Susan Press Winter Juried Exhibition and the Terraland Ceramics were really important programs for us here. And this year we are recommending we continue with both of those programs. Red Open Studios, we're recommending this year we open that up for this RFP process, which is what we've done. There's, Patty, do you want to share any more context about that decision this year, or?
I think it would, just give more artists the opportunity to display at Volkert. There wasn't a whole lot of demand from the Marin Open Studios folks to get into Volkert. We did have 3 artists that were up there. But I think it would be better utilized through this process.
And we're recommending that, moving forward, we maintain flexibility with how many exhibit dates we open up at Volkert, but we really value this process. We think this is a really transparent way to select artists that really ties in with how we want to make sure we bring a really diverse representation of different arts into the community. We think this is a great way to move forward, but we still want to maintain some flexibility to really support the programs that the student offers to make. So I think Patty, you already kind of described this, but each of our exhibits runs about 6 weeks. Open hours vary depending on the programming that we have happening each time of year. try to do our best to partner with, Second Friday Art Walk, our Works Downtown, other groups that are involved in that. And, there are, art sales that we have an agreement that we enter into with exhibitors. The city collects 30% on the artist. Patty does a great job with making sure that we're advertising the exhibits. We've got flyers, postcards, with the community. Try to put signage up in market to help support the artists that are here. And we put digital versions of our work on. So, an overview of what we require from artists. There is that agreement for the exhibitor. When we reviewed these proposals, we've identified that all of these proposals will align with the Falkirk requirements. They've agreed to sign that agreement, make sure that they have insurance or waive for considerations for insurance. And as we've reviewed it, we think that is logistically feasibly possible to support. So these are the dates for 2025. We mentioned we would continue to recommend that Meritorious show, as well as the Terra when the ceramics group exhibit. And then so we have 4 exhibit dates available. Each of those dates has, we have 3 rooms available at Falkirk. So if you think about the math on this, we've received 18 proposals. And we've got up to 12 rooms of availability this season. So we solicited proposals in September for this. Received those 18 proposals. We've reviewed them for eligibility. We believe that all of them are eligible. There's, some key differences between a few of them. I want to point out maybe a few things that you want to pay attention to. But what we did is we applied some objective kind of ranking to the proposals based on some things that we felt were important prior to bringing them here. And these were the criteria that we looked at. We first verified, are they going to comply with our guidelines? Are they available for at least one of the blocks? Is their proposal complete? And then we felt it was important to acknowledge whether artists either reside or create their work in the city here, whether they're from Marin County. Is it feasible? Did the exhibit showcase multiple artists? We understand that for the proposals to bring different groups together just enhances our ability to serve even more artists through this program. So we gave some points to that. Were they willing to share, or did they require multiple rooms? And have they exhibited recently in the last 3 years at Falkirk? We want to do the best we can to give this opportunity to as many different artists. So based on those criteria, came up with this really tiny, hard to read spreadsheet, which is in the spreadsheet, and we can zoom in or take a closer look at this if we need to. Essentially, what we see here is the highest rated proposals are up here at the top. Okay, yes, I can zoom in. And the highest rated proposals scored about 90 out of 100 total points. You see that there is kind of a gap here. And then there's a big group that scored around 70 to 75 points. And then we've got a group that scored around 65 points. You also see here that there is a column here that identifies how many artists are part of that proposal. It's the name, the medium of the proposal, how many galleries requested. Some of these, when you look at these numbers, for example, the top scored proposal requested 1 of the rooms. This group said they would take 1, 2, or 3 based on the recommendations of the board. This group said they want 2 rooms. So some things to consider here in allocation of space. But they'd be okay with 1, right? So they prefer to have 2 galleries, but they're okay. And then there's the dates of availability that each of these artists identify. So there's obviously some overlap. There are some artists that have limited availability, some that only have 1 exit block of availability, some additional things to consider when making these decisions. So I wanted to just remind this group, there's, there's the guidelines that the Public Art Review Board has for selection of public art. I'll highlight just a couple of them in regard to this process. I think one is project readiness. I think when you're reviewing art, I want to really consider whether the proposal represents a complete design and that the artists have the skill and experience to really, like I say, they have Falkirk, that they're qualified, that there's a level of professionalism, and that the design is relevant and appropriate to the context of Falkirk. I think that's something we've been talking a lot about. There's, we see in the content of some of the art that there could be certain things that may be viewed, an occasion, like, there's a great example, we had a conversation about nudity. Is nudity obscene? No, not necessarily, right? There's lots of great examples of nudity in art. So we were having conversations about that. There's one proposal that has, if there's an example of someone raising the middle finger. And well, is that obscenity or is that profanity? And for us as staff, as a city, we can ask those questions, but I think it's really up to the board to make certain decisions about that. Is the artwork that you see in the proposal appropriate for the setting, the context of Falkirk in a public art gallery? Those are tougher decisions, right? We're getting into content-based decisions, but I do think that as a city, we have some responsibility to really consider things like that and whether or not that is something that we need to maybe curate a little bit to make sure that things are appropriate, or this group might say, no, that's fully appropriate, right? There's a lot of different reasons why artists may be eliciting an emotional response from people. So I just wanted to acknowledge that in particular, something to consider. And then I think, as we mentioned before, we really want to bring in a really diverse portfolio of art in our community. What that means for us is that we want to just be mindful of the different kind of media expressions, the different identities of artists, to do the best we can to bring in that diverse group of artists. So I want to highlight those key things. And then with that, I think wanted to open it up to the group to talk about proposals. We can put proposals up on the screen as needed to review. We can go back to that spreadsheet or table and discuss. I know that there will likely need to be some discussion about, what makes the most sense in the process for making selections this year. And I think the last thing I'd say before we open that up is, last year we went through this process, and one of the pieces of feedback that we did receive is that you wanted to see all the proposals come your way. I think last year we received 27 proposals, and we brought forward, I believe, the top like 11 or 12 based on our objective ranking and criteria, because there was kind of a clear break between the top 11 and the next grouping. But we heard from you that you wanted to see them all. And so we still have that scoring. I want to reflect, there may be some clean kind of breaks on the objective scoring you see here, but we want to make sure you had a chance to see all the proposals so that you can review them. And you do not need to go by the objective scoring. That's really just reflected there to show you, based on our criteria, it gives you something to do. But really the decisions are up to this group about how you'd like to allocate this. Okay.
How are we going about?
Do we review the artwork?
We can, yeah. So what I'll do is I'm gonna switch over to the proposals. And would you like to just go through them one by one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll have to do a little shifting back and forth here.
You happen to have a printed copy of the ranking system thing?
We can probably print something off. We did not print anything for the meeting.
It would just be
here.
helpful to know where
Yeah.
it fell on your system. Without you having to
Would you like
toggle
that
back
something
and
you-
forth.
Yeah, would you be able to do that? I think that would be great.
I mean, we could probably just have one.
Do you want me to?
Why don't you report them off? It's just sometimes helpful to take notes and have something to write down.
I'm sorry, I can do it.
thoughts
I'm very.
That's okay.
Thank you. You sent these to us, though. These are the ones we saw.
Correct. These are the ones you should have received an email last week that had all these proposals. And. It's open.
You're treated them, yeah, on the,
Here we go. Double clicking.
Oh, now it's
Oh,
still not
maybe
gonna
not.
show up.
poet.
Okay,
Between them, is the first one.
this is, so. This is, I'm going, I think these are just listed in order of receipt here, so they may not align with, the top. Scored rankings, so I'm just gonna go through these if you want to take any notes on things that you like, things that you have additional questions on. I am gonna bypass the written proposal and get to the actual images of the artwork, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah.
And can everyone see this okay? Do we need dim lights or is this okay? See? And feel free to tell me to speed up, slow down, zoom in.
Oh, they're 2 pages.
Oh, sorry.
Because it went on.
Okay.
It went on to 2 pages. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, so we are
So
looking at
this
the
is the
4:30 Wednesday.
4:30 Wednesday group.
Just
And
on
this
page
is
2,
a-
everyone.
This is a group. And so there's a couple different,
And this is the one that doesn't want to share.
They want all 3
Yeah.
galleries.
You know what, I might.
Can we turn the lights on?
Do you mind? Or I can. I feel like I'm like, can you do this?
You are the chair.
Oh, yes. Well, not for much longer. Okay.
This is the one with 8 people. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. Oh, okay.
they're not even reading everything, but.
I've looked at a few. This group came in several times and looked at the space a lot.
Oh, really?
is all of the images from. Okay, so this next one is, I'm going for the. I was going, this is Jennifer Roberts. Or should I go in order of the spreadsheet, would you prefer?
That would probably be helpful just for
Let's do that.
organizational purposes.
What's number is on?
Connolly, Marvin and Jones.
All the images. Okay.
Yep. GJMA.
Thank you. Okay. EGMA,
What did that stand for again?
Golden Gate.
Oh, it says right.
Golden
Marin
Gate
artist,
Artists.
okay. Standard, Marin and everything. Confuses me all the time. Crash. Gravier or whatever you do that. Crash that works at White Friday Street Arts.
Yes.
And then you have CWA. And for helping watercolors. Do we see these works last year too?
yes.
Have they traditionally shown at Falkirk?
They They've shown in the past, but I think the last time that they were there, I think I looked it up, was in 22. I believe.
Is there a organization in Concord? They're not,
Pardon?
their organization.
I think they're, but they have artists from here as well. They're all over.
We didn't give them a spot.
They only wanted 3 galleries
Yeah.
last year. They would only accept 3 galleries.
And now they've changed their mind.
They would like 3, but
Right.
wouldn't take 1 that was offered.
You doing?
Good.
Good. Michelle does.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
This is one not.
So is that only 2 of the artists that we're seeing the work of?
I think it was.
I'll scroll back up here in a moment.
You saw? all 3? Yeah. Oh. I must have looked down to right.
Okay.
1. Oh. Mhm. You have Judy Shelby Long's name.
So that's a picture there of Falkirk. So this show was at Falkirk. And I believe I looked it up and it was 2019. And she had this exact show there.
Oh, so she's just gonna be.
And that's the way it looks to, yeah.
So it's been pending.
Do you know how many rooms she had last time?
I don't, like, I just recognized that and then tried to go back and find what year. She, and I believe it was 2019.
I think this particular, answer to question number 3 here is particularly relevant to that. There's some symbolism for the artist here since they first exhibited at Falkirk in 1994. 30 years has passed. This is
These are just examples.
examples, yeah, so back up to. We could solve the name. And then next on the list.
Is Gerald. Who's? Sure.
Not sure.
That's right.
Pronunciation is there.
I'm terrible, but.
Sorry if we totally mispronounced your name.
Yes.
Maybe like a goose.
Are the artists on? Like, is anyone on? No.
I think we have any members of the public on the call right now. Okay.
Right,
Like, we're gonna make work voting here. On to next one.
sorry, Jean-Marc. Reveal, thank you.
These pictures are later on as well, because when they came in, there's like a blue over the top of them, so. Those pictures are on
Okay.
another page later on.
Siegel.
say this has been the most peaceful part of my day, it's just looking at artwork.
Quietly in a dark room.
Yes, it's been quite nice.
I'll get you a weighted blanket.
Great.
Tasha Shore, oh, Tasha Shore. Sorry, Pamela Moulton. I was trying to make that a last name. Like,
Yeah.
Tasha?
I think this one's right. Yeah.
These ladies came by Falkirk as well. They took some photographs there. Because one of the artists takes the photo and then the other artist paints the photo. And so they said they took a few photos in Santa Fe and Falkirk when they were visiting the other day that they would use in the show.
So they're always shown like in this diptych style.
Yeah, so the photo and then the painting. And then are they sold as one piece? I am not sure of that. I don't know.
It is two people working together like that.
Mhm.
Wow, yeah, I like that.
Interesting.
So
Very
there's a
common.
photo. there.
Wow. Husband and wife.
No, two friends.
Okay. Sorry.
Wait, is that stateroom?
Yeah, these are the pictures.
There's
they
China
took.
Camp, that's
Yeah.
Falkirk.
And the mission.
Yep. Then we have, oh, we already did the Wednesday 4:30 group. Now we have Lois Donaghy. All right, so then you have Mariana Curali. Chris Mosley is your next one.
It's mostly.
Do you encourage people, I know it says here they can sell, but do you kind of like encourage people to sell?
It's up to them. Yeah, some artists have a lot more not for sales than others.
I wonder if that could be, is it first one is glass? Yeah, those are glass. I wonder if you could give more points to someone who's selling. Versus something.
I mean, we could have sent a proposal for next year.
Yeah. student benefit. Do you have something that sits on the ground like that? Would that be possible?
We have pedestals that we could,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we have pedestals that they could use, or if they wanted to put it on, but we have low pedestals that. they can
Like
use.
low wide ones?
Mhm.
I guess that's Chris Mosley.
And for what one?
Who was that? I just did.
Jennifer Roberts.
So. Roberts.
And you're Becky, Jackie.
The photography, are these photos of dried flowers?
It's flowers in ice. And she takes pictures of the flowers in ice.
Interesting. On the floor and the library.
Is that all 18 there?
Yes. That, yeah, that would be great. I mean, I don't care.
Do you have the weighted blanket for me?
Actually, at the gallery, I
Oh,
do.
okay.
Yeah, we have that thing that this read, you know, the sensory hut. have noise canceling
That would
headphones.
be great.
everything. Yeah.
I think, thanks for going through all those. I was just gonna say too, again, just as a reminder, you know, we did have that objective scoring that's on that spreadsheet. But really it's up to you to make some decisions, so. And also as they were placed, like, you know, there's some that are clustered, it's like 90 points. There's no particular order in how we place them on the spreadsheet. So if they all had the same score, they were just dropped in at that same score. So. So, and if you want the additional, discussion or guidance on like what's the best way to make those decisions, I think we're happy as staff to help facilitate that, but also why don't we really lead it up to the board to kind of figure out what you think the right approach is to make these types of decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we had to do last time was puzzle it together because there's some people that were available multiple times or were open to the one room. So I don't know if that's how we want to start or like go with, just go through and say yes or no to certain ones. Open to discussion. It's always really hard.
Yeah.
I always feel so.
Maybe start with a yes, no, and then.
Yeah.
See,
We're just going.
you can always renege on a no.
Yeah, I mean, I have some that I'm like a maybe, but it wouldn't be a yes.
Right.
Do we want to do that? How would be best to keep track of all that? I can like make a little. Or actually. Like we could mark it on the other side, like I can mark it on the other side of the paper. Kind of. Like I can tally mark who says yes and who, not who, but how many, does that make sense to people?
Yeah.
And they can go back through. Trying to think of like the most efficient. Way to do this, okay.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open the spreadsheet on the main screen here.
Oh, great,
Share that so that we also have a way to keep track, or if we needed to sort by availability on certain dates, we could do that as well.
okay, so does everybody, what does everybody think of the first one, the
Do
Connolly?
you
Mark?
want just yes, no, or do you want a maybe? I feel like maybe it's gonna muddle it too much.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Do you think yes, no, and then we can revisit if we have too many or not enough?
yes, that's a good
Okay.
idea. I don't know, I was just gonna ask if you were gonna say yes to it,
Okay,
does that make sense?
yes, that's
And then we
very
can go back
clear.
through and then we can be like, would you say maybe to it?
Yeah.
Or would you say no to it? Does that work? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, number one. Where do you have to start?
Yes.
You said yes, okay.
Well, wait, so
Which one is number one? This is not with the.
Connolly,
Yeah.
Marvin, Jones, they were
Yeah.
like soft
Yeah, I
pastel.
got
The-
it, yeah.
Yeah,
I voted
mine's
yes,
again.
that one.
like, so we have the points, right?
Yeah,
That's independent of what we.
this
think
is just
about-
your opinion and you're allowed to say it.
Well, it's independent of what we think about the. Quality of it, like the.
So, these are tricky questions for us to answer, because I think in general, we as staff, we want to be as objective as we can, but obviously there's some subjectivity to it, and there are some decisions based on, personal preferences, styles, what you like, what you don't like, different types of media. So I think it's, impossible to completely eliminate some of those responses to art. And that's why we tried to give some objective criteria to give you an idea of what we think maybe some of the values are that we'd like to see produced. But as I mentioned before, I don't think that has to be, held firm to. If, I'm mean, just give you an example, if one of these proposals that scored 90 points, you all felt like didn't really, represent the diverse, the media that you like to see, or maybe we've seen too much of that art at Ballpark in the past, it would be up to you to decide how you want to approach that. You could say, no, we're actually interested in something that scored much lower on the objective scale, and we would be, okay with that. It's really up to this group to make those decisions. I don't know if that answers your
Yeah.
question or not.
Yeah, I think so. So here's can I just give a little? opinion? I know we're doing yes, no, but. So all three of these, I said, would say yes to based on the significant. The score is so much higher than the rest.
Yeah,
And I don't want to like say no to soft pastels just because I don't like soft pastels. You know?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's right.
yeah, I think I I was looking at it more from what Craig said about, I feel like we've seen a lot of that at Falkirk and maybe like it would be cool to see. I thought there was just some other artists that sort of push the envelope a little bit more, which is exciting, but I'm, you know,
I agree with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we can go through, I mean, it's up to you. If you want to say like, what, I mean, like, let's just use this first one as an example.
This is my instinct, is to go through all of them, count up each yay,
Yeah,
and then
then talk.
work backwards.
Okay,
From, you know, if there
That's what I
are
was
4
thinking.
yays, yeah.
okay. So are you saying yay to the number one?
I am, I'm saying
Okay.
yes to the first three.
And you?
Yes.
So you're saying yes to the three. So
Yeah.
you're saying put mine, and you're saying yes to the three, the top three?
Yeah.
No to any of them?
You mean, well, aren't they a
Okay.
group?
No, I'm sorry. Were you saying?
Well, yeah, I just
You
want to
wanted to
have,
go
I went
ahead.
ahead of us, yeah,
Um,
on the first one, so
One,
yes.
which
yes,
one?
no.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm
First
confused.
one.
Do you mean the 3?
Let's just go to the
artists?
first one.
Let's just
Are
do
you
the first
saying
one.
yes?
I'm saying no to the first
And are you saying, you're saying yes and you're saying yes?
Yeah.
I'm also saying no.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 2 points for that one. of
Cool,
4.
perfect.
one. Great,
To kind of
thank
track
you.
that.
Thank you. And then, okay, so the GGMA, that was the Women's Voices, Multiple Media. But you said yay,
Yes,
you said yay,
I said no.
you said no.
yeah, and computer school.
Got it. Okay, so got one yay.
I'll say yay.
Yeah, and I was like I'm gonna wait, actually, yes, I was yes, I was a yay. Okay, there. Crash. Number 3,
Yes,
yes,
Yeah, I think no.
No.
They only want one thing there, yes, I said no.
I said it yay.
I did too. That's 3 for that one. CWA, that was like, water, like very mixed media landscapes and such. You remember that one? I mean, I know what I wrote. Did you say yes? Okay, we got one yay.
I said no.
No? Okay, and I was a maybe, so I'm gonna, I guess, hold off if you're a maybe. Okay,
So 1.
one,
Okay.
okay. Michelle Dervis, that was that biophilia, the ceramics.
yeah, I'm interested to pair it with some, yeah, yes.
Yes. Totally see. Yay,
Yay.
yay, okay, that was 4. Ooh, so she did well. I had an exclamation point next to my yes. Then we had the Levine Balin Snowbird. It was a lot of collage works.
Yes,
I was a yes.
I say no.
Yes. Okay, so that's a 3 for that one. And then we had Judith Selby Lang. And did you?
yeah. I
You said yes, okay.
I'd like to give a 30-year reshowing, that's cool.
I do too.
Yeah.
But I think they were saying that show might have been in 2019.
Well, all I found was her name.
Oh.
So maybe she
Should
had
I-
another show in 2019 in that one.
Okay,
I
So I'm
think,
not sure.
I think that image of the things in Falkirk, she mocked up to, cause she had a sentence that was like, these would pair nicely with the
oh, okay,
architecture.
okay, cool.
I'm assuming.
I
it was
said
mock-up.
yay for that one.
Okay, yes.
Does that work for that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was Gerald. Who? That was the pieces that all like the music, they kind of, you know, had like a very strong rock influence.
I liked it, I said yes.
What did you
I said no.
say? I actually thought, sorry to jump ahead, but I thought that Judith's work and his work would actually look cool together, like in different groups. So we're what are we saying for maybes? Nothing, right? Okay, so then that's just a 1. You said a no.
Definitely.
Okay.
Jean-Marc Vergil.
I'm thinking about.
Those were like the really whimsical ones. They were painting.
lot of our pictures.
It was, I think, a man, but yes. There weren't, you wanna, we can pull it back up. Remember, John?
Like, well, for now, or wait.
I think I forgot how they love it.
Mark.
Yeah. So, I think I worked yesterday.
Yeah. And you were a yes?
Yeah.
Right, and how about you, Kristen? Yeah, okay, that's 4 for that one.
Okay. Or.
Jennifer Siegel, there were like still lives and some landscapes, soft pastel and oil. Do you recall them?
I think
That's a no for
I
me.
never finished. She have this shot there 3 times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was a no as well.
me too. No.
No.
She have this shot.
I was a 0. Wow.
Okay. Tasha Shore, Helen Walton.
Yes, yeah, I was a definite yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, same.
Which one?
That was the one where we talked about where they had the photographs and the paintings of the same thing next to each other.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
cool.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, that's a 4. You guys, we're rocking this. The Wednesday 4:30 group.
No, for me, yeah, I didn't, yeah. Especially with the 3-room
Yeah.
requirement.
I just didn't think it was very cohesive. I was like,
No.
even if you're doing a group show, there
Yeah.
should be some like relationship.
Yeah,
No.
I said no. So they said no. They said no.
So that's a 0?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Lois Donahue. They were like the very abstract oil painting landscapes. Like, I think used a lot of, palette knife probably.
I said no.
You
She
said
said
no.
no.
I said maybe. Just, you know.
I went on scale of 1 to 10, I would say no.
I said no. Yeah.
Can we give that a 1? Cause I'm like on the fence. There was, I had a vision of it working with other something else. Mariana Curali, they're painting. Oh, they were the
Yes.
ones that like had the heart and stuff. Yeah. I was a yes too.
Yeah, I thought maybe, I don't know that they might be good with those trippy pottery plants, the biofeedback.
Oh, see, I thought she'd look at this crash.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, I figured
Trippy
no, I
pottery
think that-
plant.
yeah, I thought it would be, I think it would pair well with some of them.
Yeah, I agree. I like that one. How about you guys?
I don't remember how they love it.
You know the yes or no?
I would qualify this as a no.
Okay. Oh, you gave them numbers.
Yeah, well, that way if we go back and we have maybes, I can remember.
Yeah. Do
Because.
you want to pull that up? Can we pull that up?
But
for
maybe
Mrs.
there's
Zhao?
the pen, print that will be easier to can shape.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, that's how they look like.
Kind of.
So which one?
Yeah, I can see crash.
It's not.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So this is for Yannick Raleigh.
Yeah. Heart face.
The camel. is so
Camel.
cool. It's so weird.
Camel.
I do.
I love the camel.
Who
I
doesn't
don't
love a
care for
camel?
Anything
No,
else.
and the camel went to heaven, look like, what's going on?
I actually like, and I thought this was cool that it was like,
No,
Whatever.
I vote no for that. It's
Okay.
not art to me. Sorry.
oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, art should be.
So that's 2 yeses and
No,
2 nos. So 2, I said 2.
Okay. And then Chris Mosley.
Maybe that's.
Glass.
Oh, the
right?
glass, I vote yes.
I was just concerned with how that would work on the floor. A lot of those were floor
Yeah.
pieces. So
Well,
I was
they
just
all-
wondering
they
if
only
it was
put here.
feasible. I know you said you have those big.
We do have pedestals.
Are they
but,
like-
the one of his pieces had a stand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
one's
sure
on
the
the
glass
stand.
looks very nice. I think somebody will buy the few pieces. Because it looks very cute on the table, you know, like this one. It's very interesting. Yeah, those,
I like the spider.
yeah, the Halloween time.
Yes,
Yeah, the
that's
one-
true. I feel like you specifically have to have.
I
the
don't like
Halloween
the
shirt.
last one, the last one, I don't know. I like the first one. Yeah, I think
Oh.
really, yes, on the,
Oh, he only wants the Halloween time, so there you go.
yeah, oh, really?
I
too.
was on
Yeah.
the fence.
Yeah, yeah,
So you're a yes.
yes, yes.
I was on the fence too, so I just, you know.
Which one is Christmas?
I would say yes, but I was a little confused about scale. Like, I couldn't tell what was a tiny thing and what was like a massive piece.
Yeah.
Um. It doesn't really matter. It was just kind of hard for me to conceptualize like where it would fit and like what else could.
Yeah.
These pieces might actually be able to, like, it could be a 4x4 show if we were able to utilize the space within the room to display
Yeah.
his art
This
and
fun
have
makes,
stuff on the wall.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's
we'll
an
allow
idea.
our
the
artists
fun
to
makes up, yeah.
Specifics.
That's
If
cool.
they take up space, that would feel nice. Probably.
Add more to.
I will say a yes then to that one. So that's 3. Or maybe 4. Let's call it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was on the fence, but 4 is good,
Okay.
especially. It sounds like they will be in the room with 3 of.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that could be
it's
interesting. And
cool,
that, see,
yeah.
that's a good example of something where like if the tones are more muted or the subject matter is a little less interesting in, you know,
But
it could be a
that-
nice backdrop essentially.
Yeah.
So Patty did bring up a point when I just brought up that other point. She said, you know, last year we did have a discussion of pairing up artists that may not want to. As you know, they have the one show and then we're saying that this artist can come in and utilize.
They might
the
not
room.
agree
They
to
might
be,
agree to-
you know, they may not work together well or whatnot
yeah.
to share a room.
I think that,
That's too bad. The more the
Well, I'm
merrier.
just.
But you're
She's
right.
bringing up the
That's
alternative.
totally a
point
fair-
of-
Don't you think as your guys' rules, you can just put them together, is, yeah, I just, you know, can this, you know? For example, if you have 3 wall has contained one tiny little things, I want to, you know, so whose decision this?
Well, it's also an interesting thing. So like the display that's there now. In one room, there's 2 ladies and the walls are filled. The second room is 3 guys and it's very full. The last room, I believe it's 6 or 8 artists. And there's only 10 pieces up. So,
some of that is up to artists to decide
Right.
how they would like
Yeah.
to display, whether it's very minimal. You know, or maximalist on the wall.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us, I think, Patty and I were talking about, it's hard for us to maybe predict or, you know, really say with certainty exactly how it's gonna look in each of the exhibits, so.
So you don't have say in how they like. So for example, you're not curating the shows, they are.
Mhm.
Wow. Got it. I don't know why. Okay,
Jennifer Roberts.
Jennifer Roberts.
No, you know,
No.
yeah, I don't remember, is the middle room?
Yes.
Oh, no. Wow. And then
Yeah,
she
I was a
put
no as well.
her
I just didn't
picture.
think they were very interesting.
That's enough.
Liked 1/3.
Okay, so we have a 1/3, 0.3.
Which is, what am I putting down? for
No,
that?
it was
Yeah,
a 0.
Okay.
Becky Jaffe, do you think I'm saying that right?
That's yeah.
Once I found out they were ice, I found that was really kind of interesting.
Okay, go back there.
They were the photos of the dried flowers, or not, maybe not dried flowers.
Oh,
and
on the ice.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
that was
the
kinda
ice, yeah.
interesting. I wanted to see them in person. That's something where I feel like it just doesn't translate well. Cause like the first couple I really didn't. Yeah.
Wow, I go, I think I will order No. They're now, taking a. Everybody can go those photos. I can do it.
What was your, everyone else's thoughts?
If we have, I mean, this is like kind of tied to the points again. I was like a yes, but we can build a room.
Yeah.
for people with higher points, I would go with that.
Okay,
So it's kind of a maybe. for me.
okay, maybe for me too.
I actually went with yes,
Yeah.
mainly because photography.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's not. I do find it more interesting knowing the backstory.
Yeah.
Some of them I love, some of them are not reading, but,
I just also worry that like, it's so hard to tell this way, so.
yeah.
But I agree with you. I just think it's an interesting concept, and I actually thought it could be cool to pair that up with that crazy
Oh, the
biophilia
Yeah.
stuff, you know, like, what if there was a volcanic show? or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to yes, so I'm gonna say like, that's a 2, I think.
Okay. Then we're in the light round.
That was,
No.
no,
No.
Because that was a no.
yeah, that was no.
No.
It was a 0.
Okay,
Hey,
so
great.
can I recommend just sorting by score then at this point?
Yep. Alright.
Okay. Okay, so this is where this leaves us here. If we, I'm just gonna scroll down and see if there's any natural breakpoints. And again, I think keeping in mind, we'll have to take a look at availability, but we have about 12 rooms of availability, depending on how you want to allocate
Maybe
space.
13. Go
Maybe
start this
13, yeah.
into it.
So we got 1, 2, 3, we have 4 of the artists scored a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 artists scored a 3. And then 3 of your artists scored 2. Ones and zeros.
Well, okay, so if you go back up, interestingly, everyone that scored a 4, they all wanted 1 room. Or except for that person.
That's the number
No,
of
that's
artists, so the individual artists.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Artists,
I was like,
so-
look at that, that would be so easy.
But you are correct, though, that all
Oh.
4 of those artists would be okay with 1 room. Some of them said that they would take more
Yeah.
if we offered it.
So biophilia, she only wants 1 room, and I think she was like, we all really loved her work. What do we think about potentially trying to create like a themed show? So the first one was that biophilia piece, the ceramics that were all plants and stuff. They were really cool. And I was just thinking, what if we paired that with, you know, like, there's plenty of other plant-based material to work with. Or do we want all the rooms to be really different?
Maybe by availability or availability first.
So yeah, I just wanted to just maybe to get that to show up here as we get into some decisions by allocation of space, so. These are the 4 different blocks of time. It looks like biophilia is available for the first 3 only. But not available for that November, December.
Judas is only available May.
And I thought she and John Mark. No, I was thinking she and Gerald, who. If we went with that guy. Can you pull up Shelby, like, now can we look at their work potentially? I'm sorry.
Yeah, which one would you like?
Judith Selby Lane, because we're trying to, she's open to 1, 2, or 3 rooms. I just don't remember.
She was the one that was gonna come back and celebrate.
Or is it overall?
Oh, yeah.
We did it.
Her stuff look like wire, oh.
We also like that Levine Balin Ober one, which is all collage. And they want 2 rooms. I wonder if they're available at the same time.
They said they
They
would
are.
take 1 room. But 2.
Oh,
And
really?
there,
It says
so
just 2
Judith,
here.
Judith Shelby
Yeah, they're
Lane,
okay with one.
yeah.
Oh,
If they.
So
oh,
like,
but Crash is only available that first time too. Like. Okay, so the people that are only available the first thing are Judith. Crash. Somebody would said no to.
Would it make it too complicated if, all the people that have 4s and 3s, can you highlight the X's? I'm sorry, I like need color to
Sure.
see things. To kind of help us understand.
I actually think that Judith and Crash's work would look kind of interesting. Like, I could work as they could each have a room and they only. Oh, wait, she said 1, 2, or 3.
Does that help?
Yes, that is very helpful for me, thank you.
Like, what if we did, Crash, Judith, and some other person? Cause we have 18 people, right?
Well, Judith can only do the first slot
So can Crash. that's
and
why.
Crash, yeah,
Yeah.
and then, yeah,
So can we do that? Can we just make them a show for sure, and then we can add 1 more person? Yeah. Cause, oh, okay, you know what would be helpful too? How many have we said actual no to? 4, so we're down to 6, no,
16.
14.
So, yeah, 14 left. If we eliminated the 4 that scored 0s. I could hide them right now. They essentially are removed from initial consideration.
Okay,
Is that what I'm hearing?
yes, I think so,
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay,
but I think just as in an effort to, like, we wanna see Crash's work and we wanna see Judith. So then it would make the most sense to definitely put them in a show together, right?
Right.
Not a show together, each get a room.
Yeah, if we're going to want them to, because they're only available that day.
Uh-huh.
okay, so what I'm hearing is that
They'll get
different
different.
color here.
Yeah.
What color do you want for yeses? Bright purple,
Oh, you mean like in that column? Yeah, that's a good
Right.
idea. Perfect, purple, love it.
okay, so those are yeses.
Who would be like a 3rd person? So if we think about, those are both multimedia artists, aren't they?
well, do you wanna go by first by dates?
Sure.
Because.
Yeah,
and then
'cause that
fill in the
next
next
column-
column is 3.
Right.
So we could just, I mean, I don't know if they. Let's see, that's biophilia.
But they're available at other times too.
Yeah, yeah.
And just to kind of continue to make sure this is really clear, I'm gonna go and highlight these green as well, just to
Yeah,
make them
yeah.
show up.
Is that everybody?
Yeah, and for, just to make this a little easier to read, it looks like. We did confirm, is this right? Patty, we confirmed that Crash would be available, would be open to 1, 2, or 3 rooms, and is okay with 1 gallery. We did confirm that, I believe, right?
Oh, I thought it was 1 artist.
So I don't think there's a significant distinction between any of the requested gallery space or whether or not they'd be okay with 1 gallery. So I'm gonna hide that info just to make it easier for us to focus in on
Okay.
the key decisions here. Okay,
I liked your suggestion, Morgan, of Michelle Dervis and Becky Chaffney.
The one that did the ice pieces?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe is there like something else that can round that?
Yeah. Lois Donnelly, did we remove her completely? That was why I kind of kept her in, because she has those abstract landscapes.
Great, I think Crash just wanted.
That makes sense.
So then, yeah, I think for the second show, does that, we could do Becky and what did we say? Michelle.
And it looks like Becky is only available for that September.
Yeah.
Yeah. Period. Honestly. So if the highlight those purple.
Becky. Becky's only, yeah, exactly.
So you're looking at the September.
Yeah, I guess we're
shows now?
skipping, yeah, it's okay.
So Becky and Michelle for September.
Okay. What size do they? Easy
No
to
wonder
see
you need the weird
everything.
blanket. Special. Um. I mean, GGM, oh no, they wanted, the GGMA want, that's a lot of people, right?
They would take one room.
Okay.
Everybody would take one room except for the 4:30 group, and I think we got rid of them, so.
Mhm.
Everybody here would accept one room.
Okay. And can you scroll all the way down, just to the ones?
Again, I mean, there are 14 artists represented on this list.
Yeah.
We have up to 12 spots if we allocated one room per artist.
Okay, so then who else can we put with them? Well, maybe you wanna come back to that? Just trying to see who else.
Yeah, well, we could go
A
to,
lot of people are available in September, actually, very popular.
yeah, Chris Mosley can only do November.
Christmas.
The glass artist.
Oh, yeah, so let's give them that.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And I guess, Sheen Mark,
Oh, yeah,
Can only
oh,
be-
that would be perfect, that would be fun together. He's that really whimsical one. Can we give that to him?
The November one?
Uh-huh. What else could go with that? I also. What would you guys think about putting the San Rafael like painting and photography? That's kind of weird.
which one is that? The,
You want what?
5, 8, and 11 together.
8.
What is wrong with that? Okay.
Yes, I would like that too, but 11 wants 2 galleries, but they said they have 1.
All right, when you say 11, are you talking about the
Yeah.
check? Open.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
They did request 2 galleries, but they'd be okay with one.
And they're only available, when are they? They're not available.
For the July, August dates.
You see where I'm getting stuck? Like,
Yeah, because there's like relationships that you're trying to see. I hear ya. I really wanted Judith Selby Lang and Gerald Booth together. But I don't think- Oh, wait, you could.
no, you could put who's on it.
Can Huth go on as the third in that first?
that you have two.
I didn't need it either. I think, but I guess ones, yeah, we're trying to not do ones first. I get it. Sorry. I'm just trying to get a little confused by whom is who. I wish I'd written more things down. Oh, I said Mariana Corrali would look good with Crash. Ooh. She's the one that did like that crazy stuff. the camel.
Yeah,
Can we add her to May? She got two.
So that's Mariana Corrali
Mm-hmm.
to the May. So that would look like
I would
that.
take care of that, yeah. Kim.
The fly camel.
I really want to see it in person. I don't know.
So if that was the case, since, I could. Just to clean up the spreadsheet, we could hide these artists that then were allocated that space for May.
Like that,
Yeah,
May's
I-
done.
we could
Look
hide
at you,
Wow.
that and
It's a
start to
wizard.
whittle down the list.
Craig, you know way you're way around the spreadsheet.
Okay, so that. There we go, makes it a little easier.
It
to
does
focus
actually
on.
really help. My brain hurts. So
Okay,
who do we think could go with, we all liked that, the photograph painting thing. So we put them, you know, the ones that with the photograph
Yeah,
painting
that's-
next to each other.
That's her. That's
Yeah.
those guys.
Could they have the July spot? Or one of the July spots?
They're available in July.
okay, so that,
Those could actually be kind of interesting with those Levine, Balin,
Well,
Snowbird.
that's what I was saying, but they're not
Oh,
available.
darn it.
But the GGMA. Could go with that.
you could also flip flop, you know,
I know, but
so.
then they're not.
then they're not
Yeah.
flowers. Such a cool idea.
Puzzle.
Although I could make an argument for Tosh, oh my gosh, why can't I say anything? Tasha Shore and Pamela, like if they went with the biophilia and the photography. I mean, it's a totally different
Yeah, I mean, that's what I heard.
experience.
Yeah,
And they do
Well,
kind
for
of
your,
complement each other.
let's do that.
That would look like that then.
Yeah. Well, because it's interesting, it's taking,
It's ceramics, it's photography, and it's,
yeah,
you know, and I mean, if it was, you know, photography and paintings together is its own made up, beautiful.
So is everybody comfortable with that for now? We can always revisit this.
for
too.
now, yeah.
Go ahead. That one. That one.
Oh, look at us, we're
That
down.
one. That, so now we're down to here.
And we already have Chris Mosley assigned. So it's GGMA,
So Levine is,
it would need to be,
Yeah, I think if you wanted to allocate space then to the Vales of Snowbird needs to be this November date, that would be the only option.
right, but then that's true of the other,
Also true of CWA.
if we decide to.
They have one.
yeah, I mean,
Similarly,
they beat out
Gerald-
some good-
I liked Levine, yeah, I like that one way more, so. So can we put the third one there?
Like that,
Yeah,
okay,
I think we could revisit if like CWA could possibly fit somewhere else if we just eliminated the only, right?
so
And put someone else there.
again, we can always come back around, circle back around, but just for the sake of this decision, based on that. CWA would not be available, so I would hide them, which would leave you with picking 3 of these for this
Well,
final.
I think
set
the
of
first two are kind of, yeah, we choose them based on votes.
So you would select these 2 based on initial voting, then it would be up to you. Here,
I would
Gerald.
go Gerald,
Gerald.
just for the,
I just feel bad because Lois actually came through. Is that actually, or is she just saying that's the name of the title because the light that exists at the Falkirk, or is it actually at the Falkirk?
Go ahead and pull those back up again. Abstract expressionist oil paintings that depict the beauty, and light of the grounds around the Falkirk Mansion. So it does seem like.
Are these the ones that were abstract? But like highly textured? Yeah. I did, yeah, I like those for. Like, this is not typically something that is appealing to me, but if they're abstract enough that it's,
That's exactly how I felt.
yeah. I wish the colors were a little more.
Yeah, and then I was like, maybe they are in person. Yeah. I
I like how it's, you know what's happening, but it's still abstract. You could look at it as abstract instead of that.
but nobody else, you guys don't like it.
I'll just,
I
I'd say I
think
like
that we
Gerald's
want to
better.
yes on this. This looks
Can we
good.
look at this versus Gerald's and
Sure.
what do, and then we have.
Wait, who was, sorry, do you mind going back to, or you don't have to. No, let's-
I thought
Want to go back
Lois's
to
work would look really good with
Gerald,
that
yeah.
biophilia.
Oh, I wanted to. Connolly, Marvin and Jones is still on our list. I don't.
And this is Gerald who
They were
reference as
passed out.
well.
I remember this guy.
It was a no for me, the con.
That was a no.
That was
for
a
me.
deal maker. Gerald who, and then said Connolly. Martin Jones.
Oh, yeah, strong no. That's a hard pass for me. I do like that one. better.
Yes, I do too.
Back to the sheet here. So
I would sorry, can I interject? I would get rid of Connolly, Marvin and Jones and go with Gerald and Lois. I think they're both more interesting.
But yeah,
Tell me,
I would agree with that assertion. What do you think of the?
I don't know. I'm still stuck on the fact that Connolly's got 90 points. And lowest is 65, lowest score versus highest score, I'm
Yeah.
assuming they're both.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
there
there's
for
a reason
reference on the far left here.
But they're for reasons that are not really about the art itself.
yeah, it's more
Yeah.
like for like logistics.
I was a no on the art. Like, you know, we're just doing
Yeah.
art. It's not nice. But
I may just add, I think, you know, from staff perspective, the objective rankings do maybe speak a little bit to making sure that the space is available for Sanderville artists, Marin County artists. And hopefully kind of reflecting some of those other objective things that we do value. I do think that those points can be assigned value for things that we think are important. So, like I said, they're not the end all be all in decision making, but I do hope that they can kind of help in this.
it's PG, I mean.
Sure.
I mean, we could move Connolly Marvin Jones to November to be with the glass guy, if they were open to it, in the same room.
I really feel very strongly against that art. If everyone else votes in favor of it, obviously that's fine, but like. I would eliminate them and go with the others personally.
So this was GGMA.
Thanks.
I like this work.
Yeah,
3D work,
yeah,
yes.
definitely.
I wish it was all 3D work. It's so amazing. Those baskets are insane.
And how can they group each other and not an action?
So
Yeah.
we vote like, so if we're like, yeah, the GGMA is going to have a space, they can just pick.
Yeah.
They could potentially pick like all photography.
No,
No.
they have a group of artists and there'll
Oh,
there'll
okay.
be a
Oh.
variety of
Yeah.
things and.
Okay.
So it's not a break, they have to together, yeah.
The textile works well. I don't know if it's really. I agree though, there's. Okay, well, where are we?
Okay.
Where did we
Back
put
to
GGMA?
Spreadsheet.
In July.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to just compare like what it looked like with the others. Extreme difference between that.
Can also get for multiple rooms,
Yeah,
because there's how many? 10 artists?
yeah. There was some interesting work.
Oh, yeah, GGMA has a lot of artists.
They're away.
It's all women, right? Yeah,
Every
that's,
time,
that was helpful too.
So you just go with those top two and then cut out the ones? And give like 2 rooms to GGMA and
Did
One room
GMA
to
did the show
Conley.
last? They're like
I don't know.
I've seen
They-
Conley
I
is
think they did,
controversial.
no?
What have you done,
We met.
Sandoval?
What have I done?
Sandoval. Last names.
I can't remember his first name.
Okay, so. Yes, I think some feel strongly that they don't like the Connolly Marvin Jones pastels. How did you feel about them?
I feel the painting were nice, but just the, you know.
No, those were the pastel pieces.
Yeah, that's the one of the piece that really. like them. Yeah, you guys say no, I don't care, but I have few, I like few pieces there, they are like very nice, very good looking.
Which ones are you talking about? The Connolly ones?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they have a few pieces.
So then I think we need to
So
offer
then-
them a room.
Yeah,
They,
I
they did
just-
a lot of work on it. I can say that they did a lot of work on it. You know, I don't like artists to not pay attention just, you know, but I can say the work on it, you know, they did a lot of work.
Yeah.
Some pieces. So they deserve how they were shot.
problem is we don't have a time clicker for,
No,
because we're two yeses, right? Yes.
I
it's
would-
okay. I mean,
I like.
we are also one yes to the other two, so. Like, although I feel
Last-
like people have changed their minds. Potentially.
Yeah, right. I mean, but for me with Connolly's, it's a. That they scored the highest.
Yeah, I
And
gotcha.
the art's not so bad that I would say like.
They have few pieces really good. They did a lot of work, but not everyone, not everyone, you know.
Yeah.
Let me throw something out. How do you feel just in terms of a show aesthetic? GGMA with Gerald Booth? Because the GGMA is like pretty, like very diverse in terms of style.
Yeah.
And they're women.
Yeah, and then Gerald is also like a very specific aesthetic. And maybe. Well, this is just me. Trying to get the pastel people out again. But GGMA 2 rooms and Gerald 1. I mean, I like Lois too, but if you're concerned about the score, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, back to my original thought was like, because I mean, the reality is all these people got some amount of points and it would be great to find a way to offer them something. Even if we don't strongly feel positively about that, you know, like the work itself.
Yeah.
I wonder if. Like, we could say to one of them, whether it be, I agree with you, I think Gerald Huth would be interesting with GGMA, mainly because, yeah, it's different.
Can I put something out there?
Yeah.
I think Lois should just be out because they have the lowest amount of points and only one vote.
But she's the one who painted the actual wall.
She think it's very nice. Why did she get such low points? Because she's not from here.
I can pull that up and we could review that, but
Or we could just,
Which one?
we have all those individual. Points, so focusing on this row as I scroll across here. So they comply with the guidelines, got a complete proposal, they do not reside in Marin County. They are from Santa Rosa, so that's where they create their work. We felt it was logistically feasible. It was not a group exhibit, so we didn't give any points there. They were flexible in the rooms, so they got full points. And they have not recently exhibited, so they received 5 points.
so it's really just, you know,
And they're not.
Not.
and not agree.
Versus if you look at, just for comparison, Gerald Tooth, the line above here.
Yeah, what if he's
Having more points.
same amount? Yeah.
It's like,
Just
they do reside in Marin County, but they do work in Forestville, Sonoma County. Feasible. So that's the only key difference.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, if we wanted to be really fair, we could give one to. Well, I agree. I think GGMA should get 2. I didn't realize there were 10 artists in that group. That's a lot.
There's, yeah,
Give
that's
them all
not-
3.
yeah, exactly.
And the madness,
Yeah.
And then. That's fine.
And I think about 10 people have show, they'll bring their friend and the family, or they have more people traffic, they coming.
I say 2 rooms for sure for them, because I think 10 is just, how can you fit 10 artists in one room?
Yeah.
Um,
As 2 or 3. That's the, even the
because
pinnacle.
most of the other groups
Super
are,
high in the.
are
wall
like
of
2 or 3 people.
Okay, so what I'm hearing, I'm just gonna break, what I'm hearing right now is 2 rooms.
I think we all agree on that,
And then 1 room for Connolly Marvin Jones.
or not.
Yeah,
Or
or
do
not.
not
if they
have one
want.
there yet. And I'm gonna unhide. You know what, hidden just so we can see everything.
So the 15-point difference was,
Basically living in Brent. And not being in group.
Why, you know,
No,
why those got turned purple. Check. We got 3 selections here. We've got 2 rooms and 1 room, so 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. Okay, so where we landed. So,
if it's not on. 2 rooms, GGMA.
and I think I think we all feel like what's it? I think Gerald, who would be our next.
I do also agree with you.
I really like Gerald
about
Huth, too.
The Falter.
I know.
But-
What, can we possibly find out if she could go, the one that did her? That's so, I feel like that's very. that she
She,
maybe
the way I
go with
read it
the
is
glass.
she hasn't painted those yet. She's going to paint them. That's the way I read it
Oh,
when you read the description.
oh, no.
Oh, no, I'm not.
I mean, that's
So she hasn't
the way I
So
read
she
it.
has not the
Oh.
painting.
I mean, you can go back and read it, but that's how I read it.
Oh, no, then I don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
We could go back and read it, but I believe that you are correct.
She said she would.
Oh, that's why I
what
went to
was the name?
read it.
Lois?
Donna.
Yes,
G.
so-
A lot. When I first opened this, I was like, oh my God.
She gave examples of her work.
Right, right.
Proposing to create.
Oh, yeah.
Approximately 15 abstract.
See, great, now she doesn't have to do that. She gets that free time now.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you always, when you say no to them, do you say like, please apply in future? Of course you do. I just always feel so bad for people. Like, I wish we could pick them all.
And these are tough decisions. I think that, that's why we asked you to do these decisions instead of us.
I think this seems good. If, the only question I had about the glass artist is like, what will be on the walls? Nothing?
But it's kind of like the ceramics artists when they do their
Yeah.
shows, things are displayed on pedestals.
Yeah.
And on the walls.
Yeah.
So,
And you always determine like based on what they bring, like, they can be determined, because there's probably different size rooms, right?
Right, yeah, so like for instance, when there's a group show and maybe there's one group show and a show that has two people in one, I'll give the larger room to the group. So,
That's fair.
so what was, did you come to a
I
conclusion
think
about July?
I think we need to kind of be done.
So you have my 2 years. And who gets the last room in July?
Two,
We
It'll
haven't
be
decided.
2 rooms for GGMA or one here, or
Huh.
I pulled up actually,
It's between Connolly and Gerald.
Gerald.
Um,
I'm just gonna pull up the other unassigned Gerald's are better.
Yeah,
Other
me too.
Unassigned artists here.
so we're okay with the,
sorry.
Just for the sake of, we did not assign any space to Jennifer Roberts.
And what did she score?
I believe Jennifer Roberts scored in decision making.
Oh,
I think it's 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Just for the sake of, even though,
And her score on the, all right,
Sorry, I'm-
was 65.
this is our July dates, so, yeah, options would be Willis Donahue, Gerald Youth. Jennifer Roberts. And those would be the only available options.
But Jennifer got a 0.
Yeah,
Jennifer's up, yeah.
Got through.
She got a point three, because I did really like her. She had
0.3,
like-
that's right.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
Thank you. We should have put that.
Okay.
I mean, I think this is fine. I think I still
Okay.
feel like I agree that with you that I think, what's his name? Robert? No,
Gerald.
you're Robert.
Yeah, Gerald.
Gerald's work was more interesting than the Connolly, Mervyn and Jones, but I'm fine with doing.
Okay, what do we think?
What did you think? Do you like the pastels, the Connolly, Marvin Jones ones, or the ones that were like the Brock kind of, violin?
Plus, there some piece looks nice. I think there's reason for they get a higher point, and I do like the feel of their painting.
Yeah.
I think that, I think some of painting like did put a lot of work, but they
Mhm.
deserve to have place to show their work.
Mhm.
So,
Well, they all did.
Yeah.
How are you doing down there?
Oh, I would vote for Gerald.
I would too.
So is this
And you
one
would vote
here?
for.
No, sorry, what I was, and again, it's group decision, but I would say 2 for GGMA. And 1
Yeah.
for Gerald, and I would scratch.
Got it.
only.
Yeah, I think we're deciding between who's the.
Yeah, who's the additional,
That would be the alternative option.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
did she say what she thinks about?
She likes the Connolly, Marvin Jones one more. I'm honestly, I don't feel strongly. I mean, I do, but I don't I'm not so crazy about his work that I can't imagine it not being in, so. You guys decide, because we gotta get. 7:52.
Boy,
We haven't had dinner.
can Craig be our tiebreaker? No, where's our 5th panel?
You could, Chair Schoffer, you could call for a vote specifically on that.
Okay. But I think we already,
Let's just do Gerald. I was the one person who, I'm pretty sure I was the one vote for Gerald.
Yeah, but I was a maybe on him, so I was told
So
not
was
to
I.
use it as a. But I was a definite no on the Connolly Marvin.
So like, cause I'm caught up on the points, but it's, seems to be.
Do we
just-
know these Connolly Marvin Jones people? Are they?
I don't, but there's 3 artists there.
Yeah. So
I
you're
don't
saying
know,
it
I
gives
don't
more
know,
of an
I didn't
opportunity?
Oh, I'm just,
Yeah.
just point out, 3 artists versus.
No, it's a good
one
point.
artist. But then you go back to
You
what
can
he's saying
subtly-
about, what he's saying about the points.
Okay. Maybe we should just stick with it as it is, since it's the most artists that are getting an opportunity to show, okay? But tell Gerald and Lois and others to reapply.
I tell Lois that, I wanna see I like what she's doing. I love her colors.
Yes.
I really did like it. I just, it felt, a bit monotonous in terms of.
Those colors get it to like the hotel.
Yeah.
vibe, Where it's not actually
But
really
I did,
interesting.
I really like
Yeah.
that conceptually.
Mhm. Same. Okay, I guess this is what we're moving forward with.
So just as a review, what we have here is for the May, June dates, we have Mariana Corrali, Judith Subby Lang, and Crash the Rosiers.
Yep.
And then for the July, August dates, we've got Connolly Marvin Jones and GGMA. No, I'll just get your number.
You could.
And then for September, this should actually be October, I don't know why this says August, I messed up on the spreadsheet. So this is Michelle Dervis, Tasha Shore, Pamela Moulton, and Becky Jaffe. And then for the November dates, we have the Balance Snowbird, John Mark Fugiel, how do you pronounce it? Fugiel, and Chris Mosley.
Great.
So
I mean, you may.
if the group is okay with that, if board members are okay with that, what we would need is, we would, I think the best way to record this would just be to call for a motion to recommend, you know, these names. I think instead of reading them all out, just recommending,
Thank you.
you know, these are the groups that you're approving.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to
These
also
dates.
vote on, yeah, great.
For the 2025 fall exhibit schedule.
Okay, so, you just say like, vote is to recommend this as laid out, essentially.
And I just gonna say one last thing, I think, you know, last year, I do believe a couple of the exhibitors. Were maybe recommended as like alternates.
Yeah.
You know, things change, right, between now and November, even August, September, October.
Yeah.
You know, artist plans or dates may change, so I would wanna ask, you know, I heard a lot of talk about Lois Donahue, might Lois be a
Yes.
recommended alternate that we
And,
consider?
and Gerald,
Yes.
And Gerald Booth would be recommended alternates.
yeah, those would be our 2 recommended alternates.
Were there any others that were recommended as alternates that weren't called on this list?
No, because we took out all the zeros.
Now that I'm.
Okay, yeah, one quick question that maybe will help alleviate concern. There's one room that's quite a bit bigger than the other 2, right? Or no?
There is.
It's bigger,
Not
Like
quite.
for
but,
10 artists.
but. I mean, if you measured out wall space, I don't know. Cause a lot of the walls are windows in that room,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
so. I don't know.
I think we should stick with our decision for now, and you're right, it's very likely that Gerald could, I mean, did you have any alternates last time come in?
And I think I would just say, you know, what I would recommend is, you know, you have a couple that you clearly talked about more extensively than others that maybe are recommended alternates, but I would like to, you know, our staff to maintain flexibility to maybe call any of these artists if we go down the list. If, let's say, for example, you know, Lois or Gerald aren't available, Patty could call any of the others. You know, kind of based on program needs.
But they would be called first.
They would be called first, yes.
Sure. Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the Falkirk 2025 schedule as we've laid it out here with the 2 alternates that we recommended as well?
I motion to approve.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Great. And then, can I have you call roll? Like,
I'm sorry, who seconded?
can you call roll, please, Ginger?
Oh, reset.
Oh, seconded? I think,
Yeah, I second.
Member
Oh,
Merritt?
got it. Okay. All right, Member Merritt,
Aye.
Member Sandoval,
Aye.
Chair Schaffler,
Aye.
Member Zhao,
Aye.
Great.
All right.
How painful is it for you two?
Thank you, everyone. That was a big one.
Yeah.
And I just want to say too, I'm really excited. I think this is a really great direction that we're headed with how we allocate this exhibit space. I think, we're looking at being able to bring in, more than 12 artists with the different group shows that you approve. So that's gonna, I think, really increase the number of artists there and hopefully increase throughput at Walker. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
Thanks for letting us be a part of it. And then the next item on the agenda, which we are really running late on time, is the nomination and appointment of chair and vice chair for the Public Art Review Board. The recommended action is to, oh wait, that's the same thing that we just said. I believe typically the vice chair takes the chair role. Is that the standard recommended action?
yeah, so I'm just gonna pull up the staff report that we wrote just as a point of reference and, I'm just gonna share my screen just so that that's there. So thank you to, Chair Schaffler and to Vice Chair Merritt. That is typically what happens when, the city last year kind of took a look at our procedural operations for how our boards, commissions, and committees work and made some recommendations to kind of streamline and build some consistency in how we work. Typically, when a position is vacated, the vice chair will step in and serve the chair in the chair role for the following year. And then, the chair and the vice chair may not succeed themselves in the same position. However, if there's a situation where the chair and vice chair serve less than 1 year, the board could choose to reelect them for an additional term. And in the absence of the chair, the vice chair is the one who would run the meeting, help facilitate that. So, that's typically the way it works. If there were extenuating circumstances where, the vice chair couldn't step into that role or was unwilling to step into that role, then it would be up to the boards to appoint someone else. But that's what we recommend as we move forward. It's a great way to kind of sequence through the different roles, get some experience with it, and give people an opportunity to rotate around. I would also say, I think, in the situation, I know that there's, there's term limits for these roles. And there are elections coming up in October, I believe. There's city council interviews coming up, I believe, on October 21st. Is it Monday that's happening? And I believe our commission board member Zhao, are you reapplying for a position for your term? Yeah. And then Representative Sandoval, or I guess board member Sandoval. I know that you are also reapplying for Park and Rec Commission, I believe, and that those interviews are on Monday. And you're currently the rep. There will be a reappointment of the rep from the Park and Rec Commission, probably at our next meeting in November, after we've gone through that process. So depending on how
Could
that
be someone else.
commission decides to vote, it could be someone else sitting in this representative role. Yes. So just want to make sure that all of that was clear too.
Got it. So, can I make a motion to approve, Member Merritt as the new chair of the Public Art Review Board?
She's interested in everything.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. That's easy. Okay, then we need to have call roll, right?
Yeah, we could do, so we.
Is that what we do? Is that wrong?
Vice chair as well.
Oh.
So, if you elected, I guess we'd be Chair Merritt at that point, then we would need to hear a nomination for a vice chair as well. We can do that all in one motion at that point in time, or we can do the nomination.
Do you want to be the vice chair? Then I'd like to make a motion to approve Member Zhao as the vice chair of the Public Art Review Board. All right, so now can we call roll? Okay,
Can we read that all just as once, just to
Sure.
get it all, so.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve Member Merritt as chair and Member Zhao as vice chair of the Public Art Review Board.
Second.
Great. Can I still say that I get to call? Okay, Ginger, can you please call roll?
Yes. Member Merritt,
Aye.
member Sandoval,
Yes.
Chair Schaffler.
Yeah.
Member Zhao,
Yes.
Yay!
Great.
Wait, is that gonna work if she's no, because she's reapplying. So it's fine.
Yeah, so I think just what I'm hearing your question is like, let's say, Vice Chair Zhao, you are reapplying for a new term, and so there'll be interviews. And assuming city council would reappoint you, then you would continue on in the vice chair role. Now, let's say that, they chose to reappoint or to appoint someone new to that position. I think we would come back at the next meeting and then we would just be reappointing or appointing new
Okay.
vice chair at that point in time.
Well, I hope that's. Yeah. Is there any talk of expanding the public art review board to more human beings?
That's a different question.
Oh.
I think we got, one more thing, I guess the staff liaison report and any
Yeah.
board member reports we can get through, but I can speak to that a little bit. I think at this point in time, no, I don't think there's any.
Okay.
I have not heard of anything, and I'm not necessarily advocating at this point in time for either an expansion of the board members, if that's what you're referring to.
Yes.
I think the one thing I will say is that there was one change, I think at the top of the meeting, I was gonna mention it then, but I think this was a more appropriate time. We had, a board member, Kowalski, Sharon Kowalski,
Yeah.
who was on the board. She was a representative from the Design Review Board, and the Design Review Board was recently dissolved. There's a lot of context to that, but I think the long story short is that group and the decision-making associated with the Design Review Board has essentially been folded into the Planning Commission scope of work. And so they are also going through interviews for planning commissioners. It's on their agenda for their November meeting for the Planning Commission to appoint a representative to the Public Art Review Board. So we have to go through that process. We are expecting that someone from the Planning Commission will be appointed to this role and fill that seat moving forward. That's
Got it.
likely gonna be at our upcoming January.
Okay, cool.
So,
Is there anything else in your staff report?
for the sake of time, I'm gonna keep it really short.
Great.
I knew this was gonna be a long meeting, so I didn't take a lot of notes, but I do think there's 2 or 3 things I wanted to make sure everyone's aware of. One is that, this group, one of the first things that you approved was a mural at the Borough Community Center. That then went to city council, then there were some delays to do maintenance on the wall at the community center. That mural is being painted right now. There's actually a Marin, IJ editorial that was just published yesterday from one of the lead artists with the Canal Arts. Those artists are out there actively working on the mural right now. They expect to be done by the first week in November. And we're really excited about that, that we're gonna have a really great piece of public art. The mayor and one of our city council members, along with some reps from the Federated Indians of Greater Rancheria and a nonprofit group that represents the Coast Miwok tribe, all came together a couple weekends ago and did a celebratory kind of a kickoff and talked about the symbolism of that mural. They're gonna install a sign out front that really outlines what do each of these images in the mural really represent and why are they important to the community. So real excited that that's happening right now. And we'll be planning a kind of a celebration that I'll invite all of you to once it's done to celebrate that completed artwork. Kind of along those lines, the city's really been processing through what is our role in reviewing different types of public art. There's public art on public property, city managed property, and that's what this board has been tasked with reviewing. So we have a really clear pathway to review this type of art. There's also art that is publicly visible that is on private property. That there's 2 different types of that category. There's city funded art that's publicly visible on private property, and then there's non-city funded art that's on private property. And we've really been trying to understand what our role should be in reviewing those types of projects. Where we landed right now is that since we don't have a policy on that if let's say a community member wanted to privately fund a mural on a private building, there is no review process associated with that at this point in time. For certain city funded projects in the future, we may decide to continue to explore policy. And I could see, one option would be to bring those types of projects here. But there are a couple examples of projects right now that are receiving some city funds through the Downtown Centerville Art District. The California Art Council grants that we've received. Those are both state funds and city funds. That's the way we've interpreted it. And so we had a real conversation about, should we be bringing those projects to a board right now for review? We want to keep these projects moving. We don't want to create more bureaucracy, more red tape. So we decided for the time being, let's just keep moving these projects forward. And there's a mural at Artworks Downtown, at the exterior of that building. There's a couple murals at the Canal Alliance that have been facilitated through the Maroon Society of Artists, as well as some downtown storefront activation projects that are moving forward right now through that program. That I'm really excited that that's the direction we're taking for the time being. So some really great examples of new murals, new public art going out from us. So yeah, I want to make sure that we shared that info. Lots of other rec programs that are directly related to art. Lots of other great things happening. We've got outreach for our Terra Linda Community Center enhancement plan. We've got our Park and Rec Commission tomorrow night. But overall, things directly. I won't bore you.
No, that's great. Thank you. Is there anything else that anyone wants? whatever wants to say? Oh, I'm opening public comment. There's nobody here. I'm gonna close public comment. Anything else? Any board member reports on any meetings, conferences, and or seminars attended by our public art review board members? No, okay, then I'm gonna open and close public comment and adjourn the meeting at 8:10. It's a long one, you guys.
Awesome.
Woo.